loves, and thanks for tuning into my channel. We are starting off applying my Dior foundation to my freshly washed and primed skin. I'm completing the application using light tapping motions with my brush, and I am making sure that I am covering all areas of my face, and just making sure that the application is very, very smooth. All right, next I'm going to be concentrating on my brows. My brow routine is really, really simple. I just use a spoolie brush to brush my brow hairs in place. I don't apply any brow gel to my brow hairs because they're really weird. They're thick in the front and thin on the ends, which is so weird. So um what I do that works for me is I just fill in my brows. Now right now I am using a darker pencil to complete that, and then I'm going back in with that spoolie brush just to brush the product in place to fill it in and make it a little darker. I'm concentrating on the front, just filling that space in, and then I'm gonna go over the area with my MAC brow pencil, and I'm just actually creating little hair like I guess placements on my brows to just give it the illusion that my brows are actually grown on my face instead of drawn on. I know you can relate. Now I'm adding some primer to my lids. It's definitely important that you apply primer to your lids before you apply any type of shadow. It acts as a protective barrier for your skin because what you have to remember is you're applying products that have a lot of pigmentation, and you just don't want your skin to feel the effects of that product being on your skin. So definitely put primer on before you put your shadows on, and it also enhances how they look as well too. Now what I just was applying to my lid as well is the MAC paint pod. I apply that just because it just really makes my shadows pop and stay in place. And then what I'm doing is I just added a little concealer underneath my brow bone just to highlight that area. Some people put eyeshadow in that space, but I don't. And next I'm going in with this beautiful shadow in my crease. Absolutely gorgeous. When I picked it up and put it on the brush and put it on my face in this area, I was a little surprised. It's very, very pigmented and just really soft, and I don't know, I went a little crazy. I kept building it up. So but again, that's what makeup is all about. You know, you have your own fun with the looks. You know, I wanted something deep and rich looking, and I definitely got that from the crease shade and also the outer corner shade that I'm putting on my lid right now. I'm actually using a curved brush from It Cosmetics to apply that product in the area. I like using brushes like this, or really small brushes in that space, just so I can be precise on the application. And then I am smoothing everything out with a fluffy brush. I'm blending, honey. Blending, blending, blending. That is the name of the game. If you don't blend, you're gonna see what happens, and then you're gonna blend, and then you're gonna blend some more after you look at yourself. If you haven't blended. Okay, so I'm using a flat brush, and I am just applying the shadow to my lid. I'm using light tapping motions, being really careful just to make sure that the product is placed on my lid instead of in my crease. I have those eyes that are shaped with no real definition, so I have to make a transition space on my eyelid, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just using light tapping motions to apply that product. Then I'm going in with that pencil again underneath my waterline. Girl, I was feeling myself this afternoon. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I did. I went in with that pencil, and I don't recommend you do that because it did sting just a little bit. I don't think you're supposed to use it there, but I did. I was out of my usual liner that I put on my lid, so I had to do something. Look. Yeah, don't do that. But anyway, it turned out really pretty though. And so I'm going in again with the curved brush, the angled brush that I was using earlier from It Cosmetics. And I'm applying a little bit of that darker shade underneath my, underneath my lashes on the bottom of my eyes. And this is something that I never really do, but I felt so comfortable with the shadow that I was able to just do that and kind of smoke it out just a little bit. I can't, like I said, I can't go too hot and heavy in this space because it's not going to turn out good, because my eyes are, just shaped differently. And what I am doing now is I am applying just a little concealer, and I'm using a I'm using a sponge from the Beauty Bakery. And girl, I just get excited sometimes when I see a transformation happening when I'm applying my makeup. See, it just shows you that I'm having a lot of fun just doing it and creating the look. I mean, I have fun every morning just doing something fun and playing around in my shadows. So I really love it. And another technique that I do is I go over the concealer with just a little bit of foundation. And I love the foundation that I am using anyway because it just dries matte, and also it looks dewy, which is just, I don't know, it's just amazing to me. I really don't have to set it, which is absolutely stunning. And then I'm going in now with a little highlighter from MAC. You see what I mean? I'm getting excited just looking at that highlighter come on my face. I just have so much fun in makeup, just playing around with it, I also want to mention that I really have been impressed by the brushes that Hemp Go sent me. They sponsored this portion of the video, and these brushes are just really soft, easy to use. There's no shedding with these brushes. I've used them for a while. I hadn't mentioned them on my channel because I wanted to test them out just to see what I was working with, and I love them. You want to find out more, just check the description box. I'm going to get into these swatches, and the names of the shadows are going to be at the bottom of this video. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first one. And ooh, she's pretty. She's gorgeous. All right, we're gonna go in again. Yummy. That's pretty. Really, really pretty. I'll wipe my fingers off. I'm excited about this one. Let's see. Pretty. Very similar to the other shade. Very similar to this one, but this one is, a lot deeper. Really pretty though. Ooh. Ooh. That's pretty. Now that one surprised me. It really, really did. Really surprised me. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Pretty. Really Really pretty. So far, I have not ran into a dud. Not that I was really expecting to run into one, but I'm excited about the fact that I haven't so far. Okay, we're going. Yumminess. Look at all that. Girl. So pretty. Okay. All right. I think I'll give this one a pass because it's really close to my skin tone. So it's pretty though. It's really pretty in the pan. And it's pretty. I think that one would be like a really subtle color on the lid too. You know, for a person that is my complexion. Let's see. That one's pretty. Really close to each other in comparison, you know. Okay, where did I leave off at? Girl, get it together, friend. Ooh. See, it's like 3 of these in a row that are very similar to each other. Now watch this. You see? Can you see? I'm gonna put it on the back of my arm. Oh no! Friend, I'm sad. I'm sad, friend. This one is not, wait a minute. Let me try it on the back of my hand. No, friend. Friend. I thought she was going to be a part of the, yumminess. And I see, I see this one. We'll talk about it later. Let's keep going. Ooh, that one kind of made up for it. It did. You guys see the remnants of some shadows that I swatched earlier. I started off swatching on the back of my arm, and then I was like, ooh, this ain't right. This is not right, and I'm not gonna do it to my friends. So I decided to, well, as you can see, I'm still on the other side of my arm, but that's where that came from. Anyway, I guess I'm trying to distract myself. We'll talk about it in just a minute. That's pretty. But I feel like I'm getting more satisfaction out of, you know, seeing this close up versus the swatches. So I'm sorry if you guys are, oh my. See, this is another one that's very close to the color that I swatched. Oh, it's so pretty. I hope you guys can see it. It's really pretty. It's so pretty. Maybe I'll try my other arm. This is this is a never before. I have never like swatched both of my arms, but I really want you guys to see the shadow. It's so pretty. It's like incognito in the pan, like really. And this is the one that I actually have on my lids too. So pretty. Look at my finger from it. You see what I mean? So pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. So we got a couple more here. Might as well stay on this arm. Why not? See, that's pretty. It's really pretty. I like it. And the last one is a matte shade, and let's see what's happening over here. Let's try it again. It is so freaking pretty though. Like, I'm gonna put up a short. Like, you guys check out the shorts. You get to see these shadows a little bit closer so you can get a feel for them. But I don't know. I like it. I like the palette. Let me wipe off my arms and then we can talk, okay? Retails for $69 US. And it is still on the Natasha Denona website. Now the write-up for it says, drench your lids in stunning summer shades with the ultra wearable neutral and warm tone color story of the bronze eyeshadow palette. So, my thoughts, my real thoughts, as a consumer. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had this palette for a while, but and it looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway, I've had this palette for a while, and I hope this doesn't come across in a bad way, but I have not reached for this palette that often. And the reason why is I just honestly just bought this palette just to have another palette in the Natasha Denona collection. And you know, my name is the eyeshadow shopper, so I love shopping for eyeshadows. So when the palette came out, I had to get my hands on it just to have it, just because. But I just really don't reach for it. And I've had the palette for a while, and as you can see, the cover is still on the mirror. But that's not to say anything bad about this palette. Now I'm gonna bring it up so you can see. So pretty, so beautiful, beautiful color story. But I think this palette does not make me reach for it. I think because of how really, ooh, what's this? Looks like a brush hair or something in here. Anyway, it doesn't really make me reach for it because the palette is kind of like, I don't know, that was weird, wasn't it? But that's the only way I can express myself. It is very, very, very toned down and colorful at the same time. But I do enjoy wearing the palette when I do wear the palette. Like, for instance, putting the shadow on my lid. This shadow right here, it absolutely surprised me. I fell in love with it. It kind of has like, it reminds me of like you remember the mood rings where it'll change colors depending on your mood? That's kind of how this shadow is, even though it's not going to change colors on your lid. But I had that feeling when I was putting that shade on my lid. Now, you know, I also enjoyed using this darker shade right here on the outer creases of my eye, just because of the fact that even though it is pigmented, it is not really pigmented. So I felt safe applying more and more and more in different places. You know, you guys even saw me put a little bit underneath my lid, and I never do that, right? I mean, underneath my the bottom of my eye. I never do that because of the shape of my eye. But this shadow was so soft and subtle, and it really made me feel comfortable enough to even do that. So I do like that about it. The shimmer shades in here to me don't have that extra oomph as some of the other shimmer shades that I've worked with different brands. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You saw my reaction when I was swatching the palette. I mean, and it's also like The shadows feel like, to me, you have to be really, really careful with the shimmer shades when you're building them too, because you can easily make a mess on your face. Even though you saw when I was swatching, I really didn't have a lot of fallout, if any fallout. You saw that the shadows didn't really crumble up on my skin either, and that says a lot, because I've had this palette for a while. I keep my palettes in, you know, in their original containers, and I keep them in an area that, you know, gets a lot of ventilation, and, you know, I keep them in a good place. So the shadows itself are in really good condition. However, it's just a formula, you know. Every palette is not going to be like a major fest of, you know, powerful colorfulness. And that's okay, especially for those of us that are just kind of experimenting and kind of finding our way. And, you know, if this happened to be your big purchase for yourself, you decided to, you know, just spring out there and just get this bronze palette from Natasha Denona, I think it still would be a really good purchase for you. You know, you already know. I mean, you know, once you get in there and play around with it, you know what shades you gotta work with and play around with, and, you know, build up to how you want them to. And some shades, you know, the shades that you have to pull back from, like for instance, a couple of the matte shades were just a little bit powdery for me, but when you come across shades like that, you just have to dial back the pressure of how you are using your brush to apply the shadows to your lid. But, you know, overall, it's a beautiful palette. It's a beautiful palette. I think this would work with a lot of skin tones. You know, of course, if you're more pale complected or much lighter than me, then of course what I just said may not apply to you, as far as the shadows not really showing up on your skin. But for those of you that are watching that are more rich skin tones, darker, deeper skin tones, this one you're gonna have to build up to make the shadows pop out. But that's another reason why it makes it a perfect palette for those that are experimenting in makeup, like I said a minute ago, and for those of you that enjoy wearing makeup to work or special events, or those of you that don't really wear makeup that often. You have this nice little palette in your you know, in your kit, in your small kit, and it will work for all occasions. I mean, the color story makes it so where it's super easy to work with. You can create some simple, easy to do looks that are not going to be really intimidating unless you go hard and heavy on the shimmer shades. You know, if you do that, you might end up creating something that you're not going to be happy with. So just keep that in mind too, just because of the formula with them. But overall, I do really enjoy using this palette. I love having it in my makeup collection. This is, again, not a palette that I reach for every single day or every single week, or even think about that often. And it's not because I don't like the palette, it's just one of those things where I have a lot of palettes, and this one is very toned down for me. But it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. One thing I also want to say about this palette is it's very durable, as far as if you need to travel with it. My palette cover is so dirty, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you need to travel with it, it's lightweight and it's durable. I actually keep mine, like I said, I keep mine in its original box. That way when I'm traveling, I know that it's secure and I don't have to worry about any spillage or, you know, the lid popping open. Even though the lid does not actually pop open easily. It doesn't. You do have to use two hands to get it open, and then you have to help it open. So I do like that. Like that about the shadow as well too. And another thing, friends of you out there that are thinking about the price point of this palette. Yes, it's a little hefty, but at the same time, I enjoy having these type of items in my collection. No, it's not the most expensive palette out there, but at the same time, I know what type of quality I'm getting. You know, like I mentioned about being able to travel, I feel comfortable traveling with this palette. You know, I feel comfortable putting it on my skin. You know, there's another thing too that you guys got to think about. When you are buying makeup products, there are chemicals in those products that could actually alter your skin, as far as if you have an allergic reaction to some of the ingredients, etc. You know, not this one. And, you know, I'm not going to say any particular brand because, you know, I'm not a scientist, but I just know what I know from wearing makeup. And I did start out wearing a lot of drugstore makeup, and then I branched over to better quality makeup because of that fact, because I care about my skin. I care about what I'm putting on my skin, because I want to feel just as comfortable when I don't have makeup on, you know. And so don't let the price point deter you. I mean, if it's something where you find a palette and you know you get really good recommendations from people about the palette, and you know you even look at the palette in the store and you love the color story, etc. If you don't have the funds to get it right away, then just save up to get it. I mean, trust me, I don't care what anybody says about the fact. I mean, getting a little bit of TMI right here. I don't care anything. I've heard it time and time again. You know, I would go out there and buy a palette, and people that just didn't understand my brain and how I think about them, or are just not into eyeshadows like me. They're like, oh girl, you got the palette, you got those palettes, oh, you're not gonna be able to use them in such and such time frame or whatever. Look, I take very good care of mine, so I feel comfortable wearing my makeup that I bought a while ago. You know, and that's the thing about buying good quality items. They last for a long time. You know, I'm not going to get up here and tell you how long to keep your eyeshadows, but at the same time, I feel comfortable. And another thing, this is off subject, but I don't share my eyeshadow makeup. You know, I'm up here showing you how they swatch, how they look, or whatever. You gotta go buy your own. I'm not sharing my palette with you, okay? You can look at it, but I don't share my makeup, and that's another reason why my products last a long time, and I have a really good collection. So anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed you know, watching this video, and just understand where I'm coming from when it comes down to you know, just telling you my thoughts on my makeup collection. Now, before I go, you know, in my other videos I used to do this all the time, talk about what it is that I put on my skin, and I feel like I need to share with you guys what it is that I do and in the morning to keep my face looking fresh and healthy and moisturized. And I have a little basket here. I'm gonna run through these products really quick for you guys, just so you'll see. I use this cleansing liquid facial soap from Clinique. I also follow up with the All About Clean foaming cleanser from Clinique, and then I use this. Ooh, it's empty. It's almost empty, but I use this clarifying lotion from Clinique. Gotta go get some of this tomorrow. And I use a cotton ball when I put it on. And I actually keep this in my basket too, so when I get little sections on my face that, you know, want to act crazy for whatever reason, I just put a little bit of this on it and I'm good. It's the acne solution from Clinique. And then I go ahead and moisturize my skin with the Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel from Clinique. And I use those products like twice a day to take care of my skin. And when my skin gets extra dry, I will use this Moisture Surge. I gotta go get some more of that. But yeah, this is a really good hydrating product. And then I also use this Take the Day Off balm. It really hydrates my skin when it's removing my makeup. I don't feel like I've been stripped like of all of my life out of my face when I put it on. It just feels like lotion. you know. And I also use this take the day off eye makeup remover as well too. Just 2 swipes and I'm good. All the lash glue and everything else just comes off very, very easily. Yeah, it's a little moisture surge in here. And then sometimes I will use some of this charcoal mask too, to just, you know, make the skin look healthy. But, you know, I said all that to say you got to take care of your skin before you even put any of these items on your face, because baby, it's not gonna turn out good. It's not gonna turn out good. So make sure you hydrate your body, hydrate your skin, and wash it, and just do things that are going to develop healthy habits when it comes down to taking care of your skin, and you'll feel comfortable and confident in wearing makeup. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to talk to you again soon.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with